same temperature as...
oh, for fuck's sakes.
Just 20 years later.
Oh, God.
Hey.
And we said...
I turned the brightness down and you go, oh.
And the worst part is we fixed that one leaning tombstone.
We did. That's not the worst part. That was the best part. We did our job. It wasn't our job. We did somebody's job. And they probably went there the next day because they got a call to fix it. And we're like...
You didn't do any work.
What
there was nothing to fix. You're fired!
Damn it.
I ought to call my brother Chris.
Again.
You know how us Benoits like to stick together. I'm going to talk to my wife and kids.
You know, someone did steal his phone right after that and text from it, like, after he had died.
After the workout incident.
Yeah. You notice I don't have any cable machines downstairs.
No, but aren't you expecting a visit from the cable guy? Cable guy!
I sure fucking hope not, depending on if his name is Chris or not. I don't know.
Benoit Cable Company, what?
Benoit. Jeez. Look at us. We're all spiffy, dressed up and everything.
I know. What the fuck are you? What? Hilltoppers. Huh?
I think I even have a burn in this one somewhere.
It's not that. I just haven't seen that word. I haven't. I don't know. Whatever. It's been a long time since I've been there.
You wearing pants? You should probably give me those.
You should probably give me those.
You're psychotic.
We're backwards right now.
Just because yeah. Just because it's usually so warm in here.
Can't be any fucking warmer than it was earlier at all today.
It wasn't even hot.
Heat index at one point, according to the truck, 105. You know how long I was out in that fucking heat? 53 minutes doing a fucking delivery. It was fucking amazing because the sun never seems to be on the offload side. Never wants to be on the other side of the offload side of my fucking deliveries. No, it's always on the side I gotta work on.
53 minutes, huh? Boy, that's really rough for you. 53 minutes.
The dead fucking heat, son, yeah.
10 hours. That's not true. Yeah, I'm not the one bitching about it. I was just going to say, it wasn't hot today. It was just so fucking muggy.
Yeah.
Like standing there. I was just standing, talking for 5 minutes. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this today. Sweat just dripping down my arm. Like, what the hell?
So it's not just me?
I'm talking. I'm not even working.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, my God. It was bad.
I was standing there. I jump out of the truck. I start getting things ready. It's like, huh. I haven't even done anything yet.
You had a whip?
Yeah.
What are you shipping in those containers?
Children. To Epstein Island.
Oh, my God.
See what I did there?
Jeez Louise. You know,
and if by children you mean thousands and thousands and thousands of gasoline and go-go juice, yes.
Gasoline and go-go.
And by Epstein Island, do you mean gas stations and bulk tank deliveries? Yes.
Well, I mean, everyone goes to those Epstein Islands, too. Apparently, everybody... Actually, nobody goes to this Epstein Island. Nobody.
So there's no list?
Evidently not.
President Trump has now responded through a surrogate, Bill O'Reilly, to the Jeffrey Epstein case whitewash cover-up firestorm, now in its fourth day, engulfing the internet and threatening the very future of MAGA. But finally, Trump has responded. We're about to break it down. Since Monday, we've been asking for it, and now we've gotten the answer from Bill O'Reilly, close confidant of President Trump. We know that it's bigger than just an Epstein list. There's the videos, there's the 14 terabytes that Trump's FBI raided back in March that the Democrats were hiding in New York at the FBI offices. So it's a red herring to say, oh, it's a client list. Obviously, it's a lot bigger than just a client list. They don't call it a client list. It's a whole spectrum of videos and notes and files that Epstein had in his intelligence agency blackmail operation. So we were simply saying, hey, you said this was there, it was reported this was there, and now you're saying it doesn't exist. That's what people got so upset. But going back to an interview over a year ago with Lex Friedman and Trump, he says, yeah, I'll release 9/11, I'll release JFK, I'll release MLK, I'll release it all, but I'm not sure about Epstein because that might implicate innocent people. Well, obviously, Epstein was involved with a whole bunch of people in business and everything else that weren't involved in molesting underage girls. So I had said in the last few days, that's probably what this is they just say a list of whoever knew Epstein. We don't release that publicly because they're not all guilty. Well, that makes sense. But you can't conflate that with the 14 terabytes that the AG, Pam Bondi, said shows a bunch of kids, hundreds of new victims being raped. So that's two separate issues. So clearly the way this has been presented to Trump is, hey, here's a list of all of Epstein's associates. A bunch of innocent people are in this. Should we release it? He goes, well, no, we shouldn't do that. They deserve due process. Well, everybody does. That is different than all the hard drives grabbed at Zorro Ranch and New Mexico and everything else in New York, Epstein Island, Little St. John's, all of it. So now we're getting answers on this. I'll show you the Bill O'Reilly clip. It just came out today. I'll show you the clip from last year with Lex Friedman. So Trump has had this limitedly brought to him and said, should we put all the names of these people that have due process and are innocent? He's like, well, no, a list of anybody he ever talked to on the phone shouldn't be. That makes sense. But all of the terabytes of child rape that Bondi says she has, that needs to be answered for, and I guess we got to have congressional hearings about that. But now we're understanding what's going on, and everybody, myself and others, have pointed at that original thing he said a year ago, and now this is a repeat, and I believe Bill O'Reilly. So now we've got some basic answers. We got to investigate from this ongoing. The investigation should stay open. This is not closed. Here's the clips.
I talked to President Trump man to man, eye to eye, on St. Patrick's Day about this and the Kennedy files and the King files. It was all one conversation. And he said, and I agree, there are a lot of names associated with Epstein that had nothing to do with Epstein's conduct. They maybe had lunch with him or maybe had some correspondence for one thing or another. If that name gets out, those people are destroyed because there's not going to be any context. Media doesn't care about context. So you can't do that. You can't destroy human beings by putting out the files, whatever they may be.
But a lot of big people went to that island. But fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. You know, they do that for danger, too, because, you know, it endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But, yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
You know, before all this came out, all this dropped over the last week, I had a couple things talking about Trump's economy and how even CNN was praising it. I was like, wow, look at this. This is better than we thought it was going to be. It's like, yeah, it's almost like he has a method to his madness.
Epstein.
And then Epstein dropped again. Came back.
This is the third or fourth time.
And in the news cycle, it's really just the second time. Because there was the initial everything that happened and his trial, and he did jail time, and then he miraculously was
Unalived himself.
Somebody or nobody unalived him himself. Who knows? And then Ghislaine
First
Maxwell.
ever self-hanging Christmas ornament.
Yeah. And then Ghislaine Maxwell. And then it kind of was quiet. And then the last election cycle popped in. And here we go again. Epstein's back in the news again. Except this time, it's I think this legitimately has the chance to become, depending on how this falls, one of, if not the biggest news story to date ever. Because there's so much involved in it. Like, and it's such an obvious cover-up, sort of. That's why, I mean, depending on how this falls, this could be fucking the biggest story ever, or much like a lot of, like, conspiracy theories, things that are like, oh my god, this is so obviously true, and just get, yeah. And then 70 years down the road, be like, oh yeah, that was a thing. But, whatever. Like I talked about before, it's like, I've said it about Democrats, but really this is just Washington. First something happens, that would never happen. And then something happens, same thing. It's like, well, it sometimes happens, but it's very rare. And then it happens again. It's like, well, yes, it does happen. And then it happens again. It's like, it does happen. It's a good thing. Like, over time, it'll just kind of be shrugged off and no one will give a shit 7 years down the road.
Okay, we gotta stop for a second. Because I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Were you on the island?
No, we're talking about Epstein Island.
Yeah.
And we're talking about things happening and being normalized.
Yeah.
Is this conversation going where I think it's going?
I don't know. Because I'd be completely frank with you. I have no idea where this whole thing's going to fucking end up. Like, the way this is transpiring, this whole thing is like, what the flying fuck? All right, to start off, we'll just go with this. One, this is not a bipartisan thing. So if you listen to anyone out there that's trying to make this a Democrat-Republican thing, it's like they can just straight fuck off. Right off the bat, they'll be like, no, you're done with this conversation. Anything that follows whatever you're saying has no merit. Because if you're saying, well, the Democrat, fuck off. Well, the Republicans, fuck off. It has nothing to do with this is not a partisan issue. This is way beyond that. So I'll just say that. I voted Trump twice. And he had a whole bunch of wins up until this part. There were some things that was like blatant. It's like, oh my god, yes, that's absolute win. I'm for this. Other things were like, what the fuck is he doing? And then the tariffs. And later it's like, oh shit, everything recovered. And it's better than it was. All right. And there are other things. I'm like, I don't really know what you're doing. And I guess this is a win. I think. I'm not sure. The Epstein thing is a huge fucking loss.
All right. Hold on. First and foremost, what the fuck happened?
With Epstein Island?
What's
What are
going
you
on?
talking about now? I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Because
I am so lost. Like, at one point I'm thinking like they're trying to normalize human trafficking.
No. I mean, the fucking world.
Whoa, you understand where my brain went? You know, the Epstein thing, this happens, it never happens. This happens, oh, it happens sometimes, very rare. But this happens, well, it happens, and then this happens again. It's a good thing.
But isn't that what happened with like transitioning children and everything else? Is like, actually, it went from abortion. You go back in the 90s, abortion on both sides of the aisle. It was like, it happens every now and again, but it's a bad thing. Way back in the 50s and 60s, like, no, we're not doing this. And then all the way to now, it's like, yeah, it's a good thing. There's people that have like they have body counts like women do for guys, except it's not. It's abortions.
Here's your 10th one. Next one's free.
Quite literally.
I want one of those cards. I really do.
The next one's like what, Stewart's? Like this fucking ice cream card.
Yep, 10 punch. Use this card for your next free one.
The twins. That's 2 click.
Holy shit! What was the John and K plus 8? We're gonna need another card.
Jeez Louise.
But my kids are all born. Are they really? Benoit daycare.
Jeez Louise. This is already dark.
Haven't even gotten started. This is the iceberg. So what's going on?
Ice. So,
fucking criminal migrants.
The list, which everybody was like really championing. We want to see the list. Who's on the list, right? And suddenly, this last week, or leading up to this last week, all through his campaign cycle leading up to the 2024 election, one of the major platforms he ran on was like, I'm going to find this list, I'm going to release a list, and justice is going to be served, right? Pam Bondi, they all were like, yeah, we're going to do this. Cash Patel, Dan Bongino.
Yeah, there was quite the chatter amongst all political parties
Right.
on the right side of the aisle.
J.D. Vance, too. Like, they were all doing it. This last week, Pam Bondi comes out and says, well, there is no list. Well, they come out and say, there is no list. Yeah, there's, yeah, that's what it was. Epstein killed himself. There is no list. And we went over the video, and they released a video, which has a glaring issue with it, and a lot of people point out. And they released the footage of his cell block, and no one went in or out. There was 1 minute that was inexplicably cut from 11:59 p.m. to midnight, just gone. And it's like, oh, the cameras do that every night. So they're like, okay, well, let's see. I still have yet to see that. But he killed himself. He hung himself. I mean, unalived himself. Fuck ever. And there's no list. And then we should just move on. Like, just like that. And then when he was called out during the Texas flood, he was sitting there in the Oval Office, and they were discussing a few different issues. One of the reporters said, brought up a question about the Epstein list and his island, and Trump stops Pam Bondi. He's like, wait, can I just say, are we really talking about Epstein? It's like, this guy has been in the news, like out of the news for so many years, and you're gonna bring up this creep? Like, he's dead and gone. It's like, why can't we just move on from this? Like, wait a fucking minute here. Fucking wait a minute. And then Bondi answers it anyway. It's like, oh no, we went over like the tapes and everything, and well, you've got nothing. And it's just like being shooed off to the side now. Like, the fuck? So that is like a condensed version of like this last week.
Oh.
So, needless to say, the MAGA base is fucking furious.
Well, yeah.
Everyone is like, wait a minute. All these years, all this shit talking, you ran on this platform, we're going to find the list, we're going to release it, and everyone's going to get their comeuppance. And then suddenly it's like, no, nothing to say. So the MAGA base is just going like, it's not even that they're pissed, but it's not like, remember when like people get pissed at Biden and all the shit they were doing? It was like, it's like, what you're doing is like so blatantly in front of everyone's faces. This is wrong. There was like just resentment.
Yeah.
This is more like, no. Like you're in an argument with somebody and be like, hold the fuck on. Stop right there. What you just said. You're just like, no. We're not going on here. We're gonna fucking discuss this right here. And it's almost like they just want to push by it, and the entire base, or most of the base, is like, no, we're not pushing by this. So that's like where we're at now.
Well, let me ask you something. Oh, excuse me. I'm trying to think, and I don't know, this has been going on for a while, so my memory's a little kind of foggy, I guess.
Well, there's sniffing salts there if you want.
Do you ever, in the entirety of from the start of this situation to today, do you ever remember them saying there is a physical list, we have it, we will, we know who's on it?
That's the thing.
Because I'm trying to think back, and I can never recall anyone ever clearly saying, there is a list, we have it, we got to discuss things first.
Okay.
There's always been, well, if there's, we'll find out, there's got to be a list of people that went to this island, and when we find out who they were, we will deal with it.
There was, I think it was an interview with Fox where Pam Bondi herself, the question came up of, do you have a list? And he said something along the lines of like, I heard you have a list and you're gonna release it. Am I hearing this right? Pam Bondi herself said, yes, we have In regards to the list, she goes, yes, we have it. It's on my desk right now. It was probably in February that one was dropped. It had to be reviewed. She said, yes, we have it. It's on my desk right now to be reviewed.
So was it a list from Epstein Island, or was it a list of people that had visited the island through various errors? Exactly.
But the question was direct. We see it.
No. Because technically,
I know what you're saying. I'm going to get to that.
you're in line. If there was a list composed, if there was a composed list of people that had visited the island, technically they never lied. There was a list. And unless everything's privately chartered, I'm pretty sure through enough digging, you can probably find out any and all people who've ever visited the island.
There you go.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President
Hold on.
Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK
Rewind it.
files. That's all.
Yeah.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive.
She never clearly says there's a list.
She doesn't. But the question was, there's a list. You're going to release Jeffrey Epstein, list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients.
Correct.
And then she said, in response to
It's
that
on my desk.
direct question, it's on my
There's
desk right
files
now.
of there's the JFK files.
That's right. But and that has been said too. It's like, well, she did, and that's what the Trump administration is saying. It's like, well, it wasn't direct. Like, she was referring to the files in reference to Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, that's true. But the question was, you have a list of his clients. And her answer, without clarification, was, it's on my desk.
So what else was Epstein involved with business-wise?
Jeffrey Epstein was an insurance. He gave advice on insurance, to put it, I guess, vaguely.
So pause. So you mean to tell me a private investment or a private insurance consultant doesn't comprise a list of all the clients he takes care of?
Of course he does.
So,
but that's what the flight logs were. But that was where the question was way back then when we were discussing it.
So
it's
that
like he had a list of flight logs of everyone who went there, and we've discussed it before in past episodes. Like, well, out of all these people,
I'm just trying. I'm not trying to say skirt it under the rug. Agree? No.
You're reiterating everything we've already talked about. Is
what I'm saying is it possible? Is there a possibility that this list is just a list of clientele that had involvement or dealings with Epstein, and that's why they're not addressing it or they're not releasing it, because it's not the list we all hope for? I feel like you're right. I agree. There is a list, and it needs to be go public. But I'm just trying to understand where they might. I'm trying to think maybe they're not trying to do something conniving or sweep it under the rug. Like, hey, look, you don't need a list of all the parts that go into a car to know it runs, right? No, you don't. You just need to know that there's a list of all the parts that go into a car and that the car runs when you turn it on and drive it.
Trump, I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing.
My phone is so slow.
JFK files, MLK. Well,
I say release any and all lists that guy had with all of his ondoings.
Could I just interrupt for a second?
This is the other thing I was talking
Are
about.
you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead. Could I just interrupt for 1 second?
He did seem very, wow, how shame on you for even considering asking that question right now.
And like Trump said to his base, he's like, "This isn't an important issue. Like, it's not like." Kind of want to say like nothing to see here, but that's kind of the interpretation. That's
Right
the,
now?
That's the now.
Yeah,
it's
nothing
like,
to see. Move on.
much.
Officer Bar Brady.
He's like, this is not. Well, Trump himself said this is not an important issue to interview. He said this is not an important issue to my base. I'm like, that's funny because the search results, like the trending searches on Google for Epstein, went up 1,200% this last week. So fuck off. I don't think so. This is an important issue. It's an important issue, one, for trafficking, of course. Two, for someone who's a father, and be like, listen, this whole thing of like these moguls, rich moguls and everything, going to an island, I don't care if it's 10% of everyone that's gone to Epstein's island. That's still 10%. And someone who obviously is a narcissist, like he's controlling, he's a narcissist. He felt like the system could not touch him. Epstein, being Epstein, he could just do no wrong in everything he was doing, and just basically a power play over everyone that shipped in. And we're just gonna go. I don't know.
No, if crimes were committed, people need to be held accountable.
Right.
The list needs to be made public.
All right. So
everybody on it needs to be investigated.
that's the thing. All right. When you said like a list, like a physical list, we're not talking about a proper noun list. Like we're not talking about this physical thing in my hand.
Yeah.
Is the Epstein list of
No,
all
no,
the
no.
people, right? It's simply Epstein did business with these people. And same thing we talked about, 3 years ago when we were talking about Epstein, because Ghislaine Maxwell, actually it was probably earlier than that, went on trial and went to jail. It was 22.
Mm-hmm.
We said the same thing. It's like, shouldn't we bring these people in and
absolutely
question them?
Yeah.
Just a little bit?
You
But
mean
they
to
didn't.
tell me that any possible chance of getting closer to the head of the snake that is this epidemic of human trafficking?
Right.
You mean to tell me even maybe getting a little bit closer by cutting off a few inches isn't worth the shot? No, every person on that list should be brought in, interrogated, questioned, find out anything and everything. Well, what's the worst that happens? You find predators on that list,
Right.
and you make them go to jail? Oh, Jesus.
You know, it wouldn't be so bad if Trump didn't run so hard on the Epstein list during his
yeah.
campaign. Like, really, in all honesty, he stirred the pot. So that has got. This is where it has a lot of people wondering, because he was stirring the pot. Like Dan Bongino, he was on his podcast constantly like, no, whatever they're saying, like, it's bullshit, because I know people that said this and said that, went to Epstein Island. They all stirred the pot. So either they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, and they got in there and they looked, oh, here's the files. There's nothing there. Maybe the last administration deleted a bunch of shit. Maybe
it got deleted. A
Yeah.
bunch of emails.
Here's the thing: is a lot of people. How many? I don't know.
Over 2,000.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though: is when this all dropped, a lot of people were like, "Trump's guilty, and he knows it, and he's gonna stop anything from going out." So now they're just trying to sweep it under the rug. I'm like, yeah, but don't you think the previous administration would have dropped something? I mean, they were going after him for a bunch of fucking made up shit. Don't you think this is kind of blatant, right in your face? Be like, hey, this is an obvious target. Either that, or the last administration was so fucking retarded that they had like, look, this huge. There was one guy in the whole fucking office. Like, look, we have this thing right here. We can just go. Yeah. Why is a little
That was the secretary or assistant of Clinton that unalived himself.
Why is the
tied to a tree with a
I think the
Southern
Mexican
gun.
boy's trying to communicate with us. He's saying something. But like, don't you think they would have turned it in?
You ever think like maybe some of those deleted emails weren't like actual important shit? Maybe some of Hillary's was like
Pizza receipts.
meet local singles
Pizza
now.
receipts.
Meet local singles now. 50-year-old grandpa's ready, down to fuck. All right, better delete this before Bill sees it.
God, I'll
Want your man to get hard? Take this pill.
after
Delete.
after Lewinsky, I'll never hear the end of it if he finds this.
Or, and just maybe, hot local grandma's down to fuck. And Hillary's like, oh, you can't know about this. Delete. She wants to slip and slide with the scissory ride.
Or she is the local grandma. I have so many responses. Same guy.
Better delete.
Cuck.
I heard.
She makes Bill watch. You know. You all know. You guys are sick. Anyway, yeah. So Bongino was like going hard on this and everything. And then when him and Kash Patel went out on TV and they said, no, nothing to see here, basically, the look on Dan Bongino's face, to me, said it all. Like, he looks so either defeated or fucking afraid. So that came out, and some people were like, and this is kind of where I am. I'm like, I think the swamp got to them, all of them. The deep state.
Oh.
I think they all were like, you're going to stop talking about this for reason X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. Because
like,
suddenly...
Who wants to get unalived? Hmm?
You ever hear the Hillary? The Clinton?
She's like the head name on the Epstein list. Oh, fuck this shit. I'm not done. I'm not touching this shit.
That's why Trump like folds it over and rips it off and be like... Yeah, but... So yeah, he just looked defeated.
So you genuinely think the swamp got to him?
Maybe. There's nothing to me that is a definitive, no, this is definitely not the answer. It's just, to me, it's as much merit as Trump's on the list, and he knows, like, either, maybe not him, but someone in his cabinet, fuck. I can't release this because Pam Bondi, maybe it's her. Maybe Pam Bondi's like, oh shit, I remember that night. Nothing to see.
It was one Snickers bar in a 12-year-old's butthole. I didn't do anything. I just watched. The kid said he knew how to eat it. He learned it off South Park.
That's right. I didn't believe him. I do now.
Oh, South Park.
And then I add on to all this Prince Andrew. Like the whole story of Prince Andrew.
Who the fuck's Prince Andrew? Seriously, who's Prince Andrew? Are we talking about like England or Britain or France? Oh, really? Holy shit, I got lucky. Wait, what happened to Prince Charles?
And I was bringing up a picture.
Is he the redhead weirdo?
Well, not quite. Prince Andrew.
Who the fuck is that?
Okay, never mind. He's royalty, okay? Duke of York.
He's royalty, is he?
Yes.
Royalty?
Royalty.
Oh, okay.
That's a different royalty. Stop.
Collaborate, listen.
In the name of love.
Ice is back with a brand new edition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, throws me against the car, and beats me with a nightstick.
I can't breathe? Is that the same? No, but... So, alright.
So what does fucker do now?
Prince Andrew. There was Virginia. Roberts was her maiden name. What was her original name?
Wait, what? Virginia Roberts was her maiden name?
Yeah, Jouffre. There it is. Virginia, asserted that she was raped by Andrew on 3 occasions, including a trip to London in 2001 when she was 17. And later in New York, on Little St. James, U.S. Virgin Islands. She alleged Epstein paid her $15,000 to have sex with the Duke in London. All right. So that was the
It wasn't rape, it was soliciting sex.
from a minor.
Prostitution. 17's not minor.
It is.
No, not in New York State. Check that shit out, bro.
Including a trip to London in
No.
2001 when she was 17.
Okay, Google.
London.
What is the legal age of consent in London, France? England, whatever.
15. According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the minimum age of consent in France is 15.
So we know
as
France is
specified
15.
by Article
Okay, Google. What is the legal age of consent in London, England?
2001.
16. According to Highland Sexual Health, in the UK the age of consent is 6.
Okay, Google. What is the age of legal consent in London, England in year 2001?
According to BBC, other countries have set the legal age at anything from 12 to 20. In 2001, the age of consent for gay men in England and Wales was reduced from 18 to 16, bringing it in line with heterosexuals for the first time. Lesbians, who until then faced no statutory age of consent, were also included in that legislation.
So in 2001, gay men's age of consent was lowered from 18 to 16 to meet that of heterosexual people. So the age of consent in London in 2001 was 16.
U.S. Virgin Islands age of consent sexually is 18 years old. I don't know what this is. I don't.
You said London.
Well, they got him for something. So if it wasn't London and it wasn't New York, then it was the Virgin Isles, which is the other place named out of the three places. 18.
Yeah, but
Right.
if the first one happened in London when she was 17, she would have only been older. Unless it happened 3 times that year.
Later in New York and on the Virgin Isles.
Virgin Isles is not in New York.
I know. If New York is 17
Yes.
and the age of consent was dropped to 16, that only leaves the Virgin Isles left, correct?
Yes, but what order was she raped in? Virgin Isles, London, New York, London, New York, Virgin Isles.
I tell you what, we'll just look it up.
Regardless, so no, hold on. Rape is rape, no matter what the age is. Rape is rape.
But the
Statutory
but the
rape.
specific charge was underage trafficking to Epstein, or
So
underage soliciting a minor. There we go.
So then she would have. She would have had to have been,
It would have had to have been the Virgin Isles.
and it would have had to have happened before everything else. At 16.
Well, not necessarily. If she's the same age, if it's like in a small,
Where's the Virgin Isles?
hold on, I'm gonna solve this quick.
Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Caribbean Sea, northeast of Puerto Rico. The Virgin Islands is 18.
Right. Let's do this a quick way. ChatGPT. The core of the issue of the Virginia Roberts, later Gouffre, was one of Jeffrey Epstein's most prominent survivors. She alleged she was trafficked as a minor and forced to have sex with Epstein and his powerful associates, including Prince Andrew and others. Here's a clear breakdown. Who is Virginia Roberts? Born in 1983, Virginia Lewis Roberts later married and became Virginia Gouffre. She was recruited as a teenager, around 16 or 17 years old, at Mar-a-Lago by Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein, who groomed her to provide sexual services. What happened with Epstein? Virginia says Epstein and Maxwell trafficked her internationally to locations including New York, London, his Caribbean island, and more while she was underage. She was one of multiple women who sued Epstein seeking accountability beyond his 2007 secret plea deal. Who were the alleged perpetrators? Maxwell accused by Virginia of grooming and recruiting her for Epstein. Later got a 20-year sentence. Prince Andrew, Virginia alleged she was forced to have sex with him 3 times while she was 17 in different locations. He denied the allegations and later settled her 2021 civil suit in U.S. court in 2022 without admitting guilt. Legal actions taken, Virginia civil criminal complaints. Okay, yeah, blah, blah.
So, like I said before, hold on. Look, we got to get this down.
Okay,
Rape is rape.
right.
Forced sexual contact without consent is rape. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Okay.
But if she was 17, if it all happened the year she was 17, New York and London, the most they got them for is soliciting sex and
That's fine.
prostitution.
But if there's still one,
yeah.
like that argument's moved.
Yeah, no.
So
I'm just saying, like,
and that article or that
if she consented to sex in London and New York, I mean, Jesus Christ, was Spitzer the governor at the time? Not governor, sorry.
in that, I guess, summary, it was between 16 and 17. Well, that's when she was trafficked. 17 when she went to Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
And during when she was 17, Prince Andrew, that said she had sex with Prince Andrew in 3 different locations.
2 of which she
Two
would
of
have been
which
the age of
wouldn't have mattered.
consent. 1 of which she wouldn't have been. All of which soliciting sex.
You're pissing off Christopher Lee.
Great, he's going to be the next one to die.
Talking about Chris Benoit.
No, I was going to talk about another icon passing away. Michael Madsen. You hear about that?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, it was like a week or so ago,
Yeah,
something like that.
That sucked.
I guess. I don't know.
I guess what? Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, Species.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought he was a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor, but
I don't know. I always had a soft spot for him. And if you dress nicely, I'll show you.
I think it's just because all this shit's going on. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Soft spot, remember? You even look in our general direction, you'll find out the worst of ways that has some hard spots too. That came out wrong. Or did it?
The weird thing with Virginia, it just gets really fucking. This is where a lot of like speculation came from. Like, wait a fucking minute here, is her death? I'm like, yeah, and the way this all goes, like that reaction right there, you're like, all right, what the fuck? So, on March 31st of 2025, in an Instagram post, Jouffre claimed that her car collided with a bus traveling at 110 kilometers an hour, 70 miles an hour, resulting in her going into renal failure. Jouffre said she had been given 4 days to live. Her family later, in a statement, that police were called out, but said that there was no one available to come to the scene, and Jouffre, who was banged up and bruised, air quotes, was subsequently taken to a hospital as her conditions deteriorated. She was later discharged. Jouffre died of suicide at her home in Narragansett, Western Australia, on the 25th of April in 2025 at the age of 41. Although the family at first accepted the alleged cause of death as suicide, on May 1st, Jouffre's father released a statement discounting the suicide explanation and posting that somebody got to her. However, Jouffre's Australian-based attorney, Carrie Loudon, said she believed that Jouffre's death was not suspicious in any way. The thing with that's weird is because the bus driver that had hit her, when he was asked about it, it's like, oh, they're like 70 miles an hour. He's the one that goes, what are you talking about? Like, it was like a fender bender. Like, it just hit her bumper. Then she's in the hospital. She made a post on Instagram that said, please, I only have a few, just give me a few days to see my kids. And then later, she's committed suicide. And then, a few months later, Prince Andrew walks free. Oh, exonerated, I'm fine. So that whole thing, like, there, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, was she dressed like a whore?
That's what I was waiting for. You're going to break my fucking table.
I'm sorry. Well, maybe if your table didn't dress like a whore,
Oh,
it's the table's fault.
it's see-through.
Yeah, I know. I see legs. Fucking slutty legs.
They're yours.
No, I'm wearing pants.
Oh, that's right.
No, so, I mean, awfully coincidental. I wonder if that's how everybody makes their problems go away.
Yeah, so like I said before, that's a like, boy, that's sus.
Yeah.
Like nothing
No.
to see. But once again, though, nothing to see here.
What about that body? What body?
Ooh, fingers. Ooh,
Fingers.
ooh.
This body over the fingers.
What fingers? Oh, jeez. Yeah. So, again, the whole thing, like Pam Bonnie's saying about, it's like, oh, it's sitting on my desk right now.
And then nothing to see here. Move along.
And then, just, like, when she was like, yeah, I have the files on my desk. We're going to release them. And then there's a photo, like, a week later, something like that, with her holding, like, this binder. It's like, oh, the Epstein files. Like, it was a fucking event. Like, the whole thing was like, we have them.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
It was an event. And then, yeah, they said that they located the files. They were in the Southern District of New York. It's like, oh, we got them. We got the files. Here they are.
And they were in a box in the backseat of a Corvette.
We don't know whose Corvette, but anyway.
But it was in an unlocked garage.
We looked in the trunk, and this old man was in there. I've been stuck in here for days.
They locked me in here and said the real one was gonna do the thing.
My hairy legs.
My hairy legs is the only thing that kept me warm, and I drove truck.
Yeah, and then they said,
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, Pam Bondi, Dark Brandon. Pam Bondi said, like, oh man,
What?
There's a
Oh, what?
what?
Pam, what? Dark Brandon?
Dark Brandon. You don't remember Dark Brandon?
What'd you say before the whole fun? Pam Brody, Dark Brandon. What'd you say?
Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi, Dark Brandon. Okay,
Yeah, Dark
okay,
Brandon.
okay.
Pam Bondi.
What the fuck is Dark Brandon?
That was like okay. So you remember there was Let's Go Brandon,
Yeah.
and then there was like the picture of Biden on some stage behind a podium, and he was like talking. It was all like black and red brick behind him. So
Yeah.
it looked like this like utopia or this
Oh,
dystopia.
yes, yes.
Ah! So everyone's like, "Oh my God, Dark Brandon!" And then Biden in response made this meme of like Dark Brandon, this like whatever the fuck it was, and tried to run with it. And well, we know what
happens when he tries to run.
Yeah. Or walk, or ride
shits
bike,
himself, or he falls.
or go upstairs, or downstairs, or anything.
Either way, shit falls.
Talking about Joe Biden now is like talking about COVID after the year and a half we had to cover that shit. So I was like, I'm done with this.
It's still funny when on stage.
Oh no, it's too late. Yeah, I know. So Bondi, during an interview, said, "Oh, there's like 200 or 250 victims that we have on tape, and it's all like to Epstein." And then at one point, it got up to like 1,000 victims. Like, what the fuck? So during all this, it's like, okay, so you have all these victims on tape. You're telling me now that there's no one else there. There's no one else that you can look at and be like, yeah.
Wait.
It's all just, all these victims went to...
I wonder if that's why Elon jumped
Epstein.
off the bandwagon. Because after they cut all that frivolous spending, they were able to put all that money back into the government, or whatever they did with it. Trump's like, we gotta shut a lot of people up, Elon. No, I want this money to go to the people.
No, Elon's one where I think their gripe specifically was in the way government was spending money. And there were things that Trump was like, no, I'm not going to cut that. And Elon's like, but this is wasting so much money. And that's where that gripe came from. Because even now,
They don't gripe anymore.
Well, no, they don't. It's not like an online beef, but they're definitely not working together. Even now, Elon is like, you need to release this. You need to make whatever you have public so people can see whether you're being transparent or you're, in fact, being like, no, we're just, look it up here if you're doing that.
I forgot where I was for a second.
Yeah.
I hate when he does that.
She also said there was like truckloads of evidence, all this shit, and now just suddenly nothing. Like all these months leading up to this, like, oh, all this evidence, and then she was asked, like, well, I think, no, not her. I think it was a lawyer was asked, is there any surprises? Like, is there any names that would be a shock or anything? And
Jesus.
The lawyer was like, I don't see how any of this would be shocking.
He's not wrong.
It's like, what the fuck?
You got a list of a bunch of names that are possibly linked, if not directly involved in human trafficking. How does that not surprise you to see even one single person's name on that list? Because humanity is deprived.
And they also said
Depraved, not
that,
deprived.
yeah, they're deprived of anything like of morals, like, but
So they're depraved.
they had evidently tens of thousands of videos to go through. So you're telling me in all that, not one, and their claim is they want to protect the victims. Like, fine, but you're telling me going through all that, like that shit you don't have to make public, but going through all of that, tens of thousands of videos, not one other person other than Epstein could be identified in all those videos. So all those people, all those videos was just specifically Epstein and his minors. To me, that's like a scapegoat. Listen, we'll just blame Epstein because he's already dead. Ghislaine Maxwell, she's in prison. She just trafficked him. She groomed him and trafficked him to Epstein. So Epstein is the scapegoat. He's like...
I got a question for you. How do you think you'd react on the first day of work for that job?
For what?
Hi, Mr. Quackenbush. My name is Mr. Soto. I'm your boss. So I'm glad you took on the video analysis position. We're going to have you watch some videos. Just tell us what you see. Tell us what you think. Document everything you see.
There wouldn't be a shock, first of all, like that. And be like, whoa, what am I watching? Some infomercials or something? I can't wait. Oh, God, what is the fucking thing? It ain't going to be like that.
Could you imagine what that would be like? Oh, okay, so just watch the computer. Okay, click.
Open the door 45 minutes later. Give me a half hour.
Nah, get about 2 minutes. Get about 2 minutes in. I'm not touching this computer. Can somebody delete this?
It wasn't. I didn't load it. I didn't press play. I didn't do any of that. This is all on you fuckers. Yeah, that seems like that would be a setup. No way.
Oh, no. Just how do you... Seriously.
I don't trust any of them.
How do you get into that line of work?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's...
Because if you stop and think about it, remember the movie The Sound of Freedom?
Yeah.
Remember how he talked about, like, he had to watch all these videos? I get it. It comes with certain jobs. But, like, to sit there and watch that kind of shit, because it's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
It's a horrible job. The whole idea is horrible.
If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
All right, Dana White. No, but
I love my job. I love my job. I love my job. Ooh, next video. Play. I love my job. I love my job. I love my job.
Where's the upvote?
I love my job.
Like all these rich, like these tycoons and everything go to his island to get tax advice and nothing else. Where they fly there. Some of them fly over and over and over and over.
I'm sure.
Are they that fucking bad with their taxes?
No.
And if they got all this advice, I'd like to see, because the taxes should be public knowledge, especially for figures that have public businesses, right?
So that's how you find out who's on the list.
I would like to see
who all benefited tax-wise for those years.
That's just it. I would like to see what their taxes did after they went there. Because if someone goes to the island, I'm getting tax advice, and their taxes fucking just do nothing or go down there, pay more. I'm like, oh, all right, well, hold on. What kind of tax advice? Like
taxidermy advice? Because obviously things are getting stuffed.
This is fucking bullshit.
I bet you on that island there was definitely some beaver stuffing.
And Trump's saying there's like basically telling his base is like, no, we don't have anything. There's nothing to see here. Let's just move on. That, to me, that looks desperate. Somewhere, be it to cover for people that works for him, that helped him, or himself. Granted, I don't think it's himself. Like I said, I think the Democrats would have jumped all over that. But
maybe it's not so much that as it's the Epstein, is there a chance he's doing it trying to cover somebody or
I think he'd cover somebody, not himself.
But is it also possibly a ploy to, well, look, I had nothing to do with the Epstein
all right
investigation or nothing. I'm just the guy giving you the list. It's not really a win for me. It doesn't really make me look good. Look at all the stuff I am doing. Why are we still worried about that? Look at all the great things I'm doing. One of the things he said in that video, it's clicking to me right now. As great as things have become, as bad as things are in Texas, it's like, look, praise me for everything I'm doing. Look, I'm doing all this. I'm dealing with this national disaster going on. Look at all the things that are going on overseas. Why are you paying attention to something that I had nothing to do with? This is bullshit. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Tupac Shakur.
That's true. But why would he run so hard during his campaign on
Why? Really? I'm sorry. You're supposed to be the smart one out of the both of us. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Why would he run so hard on a topic that was so hot button?
Right. And not deliver? You don't think that Trump, who is...
Holy fuck.
Like,
wait a second.
the master manipulator.
You're going to tell me in the over... Whoa. You need to fucking stop for pissing me off with this. You're going to tell me in the over 200 fucking years that this country has been a country, and as a president, there's a chance that a single president may have deceived us on something? You fucking tell me in my eyes right now that you're joking. That no president has ever lied to us. They've only been nothing but truthful.
Of course they've been truthful.
Oh, thank God.
But he's on fucking TV. And according to the Democrats, he's a master manipulator. All right? So this master manipulator, right, does the whole Epstein thing. He runs like on this hot topic issue, like you say, listen, we're going to take this, we're going to get this Epstein list, we're going to do this. And he's always on fucking Truth Social, he's on X, he's on all these. He pays attention to what he looks like, he's very keen on what he looks like, and he's very keen on what his base thinks of him. All right? You can't argue that. Like, anyone across the aisle will be like, oh yeah, of course.
He is very partial to how he is presented.
Right. So, if he knew that this was a hot topic to run on, and he knew if he gets in there and doesn't deliver on this, that everybody, his base especially, is going to look at that and be like, dude, what the fuck? Because he knew how everybody saw that issue, because how hot topic it was when Maxwell went to jail and Epstein ended up hanging himself, evidently, how everybody across the board was like, now, wait a minute.
So let me ask you this.
To me, that was an obvious, even Trump should have looked at it and be like, if I don't give the people something here,
I'm definitely going to hurt my chances at a third term.
Absolutely.
The guy doesn't... What does the guy have to deliver on? Honestly, he's already in the seat.
He is, but if he
could literally sit back, twiddle his fucking thumbs and tell the country, fuck you.
Only for a year.
For a year?
Yeah. Because if he doesn't deliver, you don't think this is going to hurt them in the midterm?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But if the Senate...
Might be a great saving grace for the midterm.
If Congress, if the Senate goes to the Democrats, he can't do shit. Because it'll just all get overturned. Yeah. Same thing that happened to him in his last term. Yeah. The first 2 years, the first year and a half, really, he was doing what he wanted, and then the Democrats took the fucking House. Done. Like, he couldn't... He had to fight for any little bit he could get.
I'm just saying...
He's not going to want to do that. I mean, granted, the Democrats right now have an approval rating that's fucking abysmal, and they're still in a position right now where all this shit is happening, and the Democrats are like, I knew it, and everyone's like, shut the fuck up. And then they go, like, squabbling amongst themselves.
I have the conscience.
That is a perfect analogy of the Democratic Party right now. They are Piggy from fucking Lord of the Flies. Like, I'm trying. Like, no, shut the fuck up.
Push him off the cliff.
Those are the same... pushed the fucking foam rock on his head. Bing, clong. That's the Democratic Party. They are the same. They're on the same level of like what I opened this with and said this isn't a partisan issue. So if you see any Republican or Democrat going, no.
Maybe if he wasn't fat, it wouldn't have happened.
That's true. Victim blamer.
No, I see both sides of the fence. I do. I genuinely do, and I do agree with you. It is not a partisan issue.
No.
You can't sit there and say, well, the Democrats this. No, fuck off. I agree with you. Republicans, vice versa. Fuck off. I agree 1,000%, but in the same breath, I'm just trying to be a realist. At the end of the day, everything that's going on, Epstein is now arising again when he's already, like you said before, even the Democrats were praising what's going on right now.
No.
You said the CNN was like, look, the economy.
Oh, yeah, the economy. I thought you were talking about the Epstein thing.
No.
What's funny is the Democrats haven't said a fucking word.
He's probably looking out for everybody.
Don't.
You know what? He is the president.
He's the Antichrist.
I didn't say that.
Someone got super pissed online about like when it made that like tongue in cheek. Like, oh yeah, everyone likes him. He's the Antichrist. They're like, oh, it's like, fucking sit down.
Wait, seriously?
Oh,
One of
yeah.
our videos?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, they got super pissed. It's like, shut the. I was like, obviously somebody doesn't watch the show. I think it was on TikTok or something, one of the clips. But I don't even remember what the fuck.
I gotta read these comments. I've always practiced the rule: don't read the comments.
So do I, but every now and again I go and the ones that get all heated, I'm like, let's see what they're mad at.
Somebody touch your no square. That's what you get for pulling it out in public.
Yeah, the Democrats have been fucking super quiet about this whole thing. And that right there to me is like,
I really want to see the Antichrist guy.
Okay, so if the Democrats aren't saying anything, don't you... That speaks volumes in and of itself.
Yeah.
Because if anybody is going to run with this, don't you think the fucking Democrats would? The DNC? Don't you think Kamala would jump all over this?
It's a penis!
But nothing.
I'm Kamala!
Don't come.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come.
But they haven't said a word, which to me is very telling. No, they haven't said a word. They haven't fucking said a fucking thing. It's like, so if Trump isn't on this list.
Joe Biden!
If Trump isn't on this list, he's protecting people he knows who are on the list, which is shitty in and of itself. But I mean, we know Obama, we know a whole bunch of like powerful members of DNC. Clinton was there all the time. We know a bunch on both sides of the aisle. They all went to this list.
Hated Epstein.
There,
I'm supposed to want to get banged at him watching.
there's people that think that Epstein was a foreign intelligence asset, and all of this was basically compromising a whole bunch of different people in politics and business
All around the world.
to basically gain foothold over everybody. And if that's the case, now this is getting in the conspiracy realm, but it's
Hold on,
possible.
pause. Conspiracy. Not factual, fuckers.
Yeah, this is just me talking.
Because sometimes men really need answers.
That's right. And that's what we're here to do. We should rename the show Men Really Need Answers. So, conspiracy.
Full disclaimer.
Maybe all these people are compromised now, and Epstein was like the focal point, basically, or he was the magnifying glass, say, the focal point of like all these people going to him, and then the dot was whoever's controlling him, right? It was said, there was a lawyer actually, I don't know if it's CNN or ABC, it's like, I've represented a whole bunch of different plaintiffs and everything, and clients, and none of them actually had a list of all the crimes they did and had it sitting somewhere. And my retort to that is like, well, that's the fucking that's the definition of a fucking blackmail. Like, that's what you do. It's like, I have this shit here and you did it. That's blackmail.
Yeah.
So, yes. But yeah, so I don't know. And then here's the fucking thing too, which this was brought up. I'm like, yeah, fuck. We have the Patriot Act. It taps phones. We've covered it before. It's right out in the open. Taps phones, pays attention, looks for keywords, phrases, internet, right? Yeah. Why don't we use that? Well, we can't because it's the one fucking time we could use the Patriot Act for something positive, and suddenly, the cameras weren't on that day.
Every night from between 11:59 and midnight,
the Patriot Act shuts off.
It takes 60 seconds to reboot.
The cameras and the Patriot Act shut off. It wasn't on a Thursday, was it? Oh, it turns off for an hour. I don't know if it's on Thursday.
It turns off for 16 days every Thursday night, 11:59. Wait, what?
So yeah, Dan Bongino said like he's out. Well, initially the rumor was the end of last week. It's like, oh, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, or Kash Patel is talking about resigning. Now, Dan Bongino was talking about resigning, and Kash Patel said if Dan Bongino resigns as deputy, Kash is going to step down. It's later come out and said that no, Kash isn't going to step down. But Dan Bongino was talking about it. Now I just read, just like a couple hours ago, that Dan Bongino isn't going to step down. He just made a lot of noise to show where he stood on the topic. I'm like, boy, that doesn't look good either, because that just looks good. That just makes it look like Dan Bongino said a bunch of stuff. Now he's just falling in line. Like, everything that happens here, it's like, this might be the most benign thing. We look at the files. No, there's nothing here. As far as killing himself, maybe he did. Maybe he hung himself. I don't know. And that's just the way it proceeds. But the core issue is there's no client list. He evidently was trafficking or grooming these women, evidently to himself. Nobody else is involved. Ghislaine Maxwell went to prison for trafficking women
to her husband. And that's it. But to me, I'm like, to all these other, like, rich people and everything, tycoons, everyone that was going to the island, I'm like, wait, so all this shit was going on right under their noses. Nobody fucking knew. Even if they weren't involved. Nobody knew? Like, nothing? Nobody stumbled into a closet, rolled down a fucking flight of stairs into a sex room, and be like, what the fuck? Where's the toilet? Oh, there it is. Do not press button. I really gotta go.
Is that like a bidet? Is that what a bidet is? Like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's... fuck.
Now, Maxwell said she would go in front of Congress and basically tell her story. Like now, suddenly, 3 years later. She's like, she was not, like, given the option to, for a plea deal or anything.
Oh, yeah, no.
There was no option for that. She just all of a sudden said, oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and say blah, blah, blah. But at this point, what does she have to lose? She's doing 20 years. She's 3 years in.
Thing called Fed.
Yeah. So, you want your toes done today? But she's
you
now.
couldn't get Enrique for your cabana boy to tongue your vagina, but...
Here's the thing that fucking, like, just... What? Actually, let me see if I have the article. I do. Yeah, she's ready to reveal truth about Epstein in the list. I'm like, okay, what do you got? So, Ghislaine Maxwell, ready to reveal truth. Maxwell is ready to testify in front of Congress about Jeffrey Epstein files, according to the Daily Mail. Maxwell is currently serving 20 years of child sex trafficking charges and has been the only person arrested related to Epstein. Despite the convicted pedophile allegedly controlling a sex trafficking operation of underage girls, Maxwell is the only person who has been charged. Several of Epstein's victims have alleged they were trafficked to the pedophile's wealthy friends and clients. A source revealed to the Daily Mail that Maxwell has never offered any kind of plea deal, but that she would be more than happy to sit before Congress and tell her story. No one from the government has ever asked her to share what she knows, which fucking blows my mind.
You'd think someone...
Like, no one asked... Just one question is like, well, was there anyone else? That would be my first question. It's like, who else is there? Was there anyone in the room with you? She remains the only person to be jailed in connection to Epstein, and she would welcome the chance to tell the American public the truth. Keep in mind, she is a grooming rapist, pedophile, whatever. And she might doctor some story up and tell a bunch of bullshit. She might just say, hey, these are the people I don't like, so I'm just going to throw some fucking names in, just so, at the very least, it causes some havoc for people.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, she could do that. She has nothing to lose. She's going to do jail time anyway.
Until she's dead.
No, 20, she'll get out when she's like 80, 85 or something.
Oh, unless she unlives herself, too.
I mean, yeah, that could happen. 90, something like that, I don't know. But, yeah, so keep in mind that she... At least take it with a large grain of salt. Maybe a heaping teaspoon, I don't know.
Yeah, it's... You'd think she'd be the first one that people would want to talk to.
I don't know, but...
Give us names, we'll reduce your sentence.
That's it. It's like... With this whole thing, they're doing this protect the victims thing. So they're not releasing anything. It's like, oh, we want to protect the victims. Okay. But, like, in doing that, you're almost hiding the perpetrators under the guise of we're protecting the victims. Like, nobody wants to fucking know the victim's face, know their names. Like, nobody fucking wants to know any of that. Everybody wants to know, who do you do business deals with? Not business deals. Who do you do this kind of business deals
I was going
with?
to say, yeah.
Like, nobody fucking gives a shit.
More specifically, what kind of, who was involved with the dark shit.
Yeah, like, nobody gives a shit about his tax fucking advice. Like, I don't fucking care. Unless it was, like, was it good? Like, I'll take some, you know? But this shit, like, everybody wants to know this. I think Tom Hanks. He was on that list. He was on the flight log list.
And then as soon as Epstein went to jail, he
So was Will Smith.
Didn't he split country?
I don't...
Yeah, Tom Hanks
Did he?
bounced.
Was it Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah, Tom Hanks. Hold on.
Oh, I gotta go on a vacation to the moon. Can I go to the moon? Can I get behind that vending machine?
Did Tom Hanks leave the U.S.?
Same time as Rosie O'Donnell. Actually, no, that was this election cycle, I do believe. Did he leave the U.S.?
He did.
All right, he did?
Tom Hanks and Richard Gere, actually.
Oh, Richard Gere. Wasn't he the one in Pretty Woman? Yeah.
No, that was Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, okay.
Apparently, he left after Trump was reelected.
So Tom Hanks fucking moved out with Rosie O'Donnell. That was tongue-in-cheek. I didn't know he actually moved out. Whatever.
So did Richard Gere. But if Richard Gere can do it, I can too.
What if they're all living in a little commune over there? Where do they go? Ireland with Rosie?
I don't know.
No?
He gets undressed. He starts to lube.
Well,
he sticks the gerbil in the end of the tube. Stephen Lynch, remember that shit?
No.
Yes, you do.
All right, I'll hold. I'm going to wait for whatever you're going to play here. We're taking turns playing videos. I'm not going to have the copy of whatever video he's going to play. This magic moment. shit.
This video was 17 years ago.
17 years ago. You realize?
A boy of 10, I had a very special friend. It was kind, with good intent, but just a little special and You dude, how do you not? You never heard that?
I don't think so.
Okay, hold on. There's another. This one, this one I know you've heard because I sang this one quite a bit in college.
Lady.
This is my best friend. When you're with me, I'm smiling.
See?
Fuck you.
Wow.
Dear old friend. I sang this a bunch in college.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yes.
He always used to think about if he was gay.
If I were gay, I would tear down the walls, but I'm not gay. So won't you stop cupping my hand?
Yeah.
I said, Stephen Lynch. I fucking miss Stephen Lynch. He was amazing.
I think, yeah, I vaguely remember it. No.
Fuck it. Yeah, because he was popular. He was popping around Pablo Francisco time too.
Yeah,
Little Tortilla Boy.
Well, that was like 2000. Well, a lot of that stuff we were watching was like between 97 and 2004.
17 years ago was how it was what?
2008. We're getting old, buddy. Tell me, do you eat your blueberries yet?
Remember berries? Remember when this was this? That was a good episode of South Park.
What? Going back to Ghislaine and Epstein and all of that. When we all have a lot of fucking questions, we can only do one thing.
ChatGPT?
No. Well, yes. But without AI, Terminator bullshit, we ask Alex Jones. Because he probably is the most sane one right now with all this. And what do you, there you go.
Here's the intel I've got from multiple FBI sources and White House connected sources. One of them being Carl Serafin, who's really proven he's really dialed in and has a great knack for figuring out what's going on. There is orders obviously coming down from the top, Trump, to move on from the Epstein thing. And so when this fiasco came out with them giving mixed messages on the Epstein files, the first move was to blame Pam Bondi, who Susie Walls likes, Trump likes, but everybody else doesn't like, and reportedly is on her way out in the near future. At least people are pushing for that. Bongino will probably resign, if not now, soon, and then he can keep his honor and go back to the media. And Kash Patel is really the guy that the establishment likes. I'm not saying he's overall a bad person, but because of some of the issues and some of his congressional testimony that they could call perjury, that they still let slip through, that he's more and more what the Washington system actually likes. And so that's where we're at on all of this. I wanted to get Robert Barnes' take on what I'm saying here on air, and the fact that I don't believe this Epstein Streisand effect's going away. I think what's gone on the last few months, really intensifying the last week, is only going to get more intense now. That's my view. I think it's a giant distraction from overall the great things the Trump administration is doing. And I wish this fiasco would have never happened, because now Epstein's gone from a mega massive story to really the biggest ever. And it's going to become one of the deciding issues of the Trump administration, regardless of what Trump wants. So that's where we are. What's your take?
This was the standard COVID mask when I first started.
There's three things don't hang themselves.
Oh yeah.
That's why I saw all those guys riding those cars.
They're on a long tape, Senator Kennedy rightfully said. Here's a clip of Cash and Dan Bongino making fools out of themselves.
You know it's suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself.
You know, for once, I find agreement with Alex Jones, especially in regard to that hostage video that FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy
That's
Director
something
Dan Bongino
when
appeared in, where they declared that, no, it's simple.
Anna from the Young
Jeffrey
Turks
Epstein was
agrees with
killed.
Alex Jones.
It was definitely a suicide.
Yeah.
It was definitely a suicide. He killed himself.
But even your mockery of them was more human than what they looked like.
They looked terrified.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it. Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, let me say, like I started this, I think Trump's had a whole bunch of wins, and a whole bunch of like positives.
Yeah.
But this one is, even if it's very benign, what's actually happening, the way it's been handled is just a big fucking loss. Like it's a big L in the loss column. You can't run hard, push. You really, they stirred the shit up and ran with it right to the finish line. Then when they got across the finish line, they were like, "We're not going to do anything with it." It's like, you're the fucking one that brought it up to everybody again. What do you mean?
This to me seems like a school year kind of grade report. Like the final project is 90% of your grade.
Right.
You've done nothing but hundreds all year, all these wins, but this one
So
thing.
you don't take the regents, you don't pass the class. Like what?
This is a big L. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's a
like
good way to put it.
I don't know. And it's going to be interesting to see, because I think so I mean, this might go down as the biggest story. Like, say something comes out, maybe Trump's doing what he usually does, a diversion thing. Oh, we're not going to talk about this. Move on to something else. Everyone's like, what? Blue balls? The fuck? And then later down the road, because he's got something cooking up, all of them, and they drop something like, oh shit. I mean, he's been known to do that. But
I was thinking about that earlier. There is a possibility.
Yeah.
He's kind of like just sitting on this.
I mean, we're all just sitting here and be like, what's happening? I mean, he's done that before. And like I said, I support him, but what you're supposed to do
I can't support him on this.
No, when you vote someone into office, you praise their victories and you fucking hold them accountable when they lose one. This is a loss. Like, I don't, however you chalk it up, whether it's covering up a huge thing, whether the deep state got involved and they're making them all, Charlie Kirk and all, like Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, they're all like, oh, we're not talking about it anymore. Like, what the fuck? Like, why we like these big platforms? Maybe because Trump. I guess Trump actually called Charlie Kirk after his Turning Point USA thing, and Charlie Kirk spoke on the issue for a few hours, and was ridiculing him. And then he got a phone call from Trump, and then after that, he was in a podcast or something. He's like, I spoke about it extensively over the weekend, and for now, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So was that like Trump going like, hey, listen, you keep talking about this, you're not going to have access to anyone in the White House anymore? Like, was that it? I don't know. Ben Shapiro is just he's all on Trump's dick. So Ben Shapiro, to Shapiro, Trump can do no wrong. Like, I truly believe that. Unless it's against Israel, then then of course he'd be like, oh God, he's the Antichrist. But like, so to Shapiro, like, okay, so you're going to have that. You're super Republican, super conservative. Fine. To me, Shapiro's one of those, when you're, for me anyway, when our paths align, allies, but then like there's sometimes like and this is one of those things where he's like, no, he killed himself. So the president says that's what I agree. I'm like, no, that's the same thing like during Biden and everything. It's like, oh, COVID's fine unless it's dangerous, you'll die, but if you sit down at a restaurant, you'll be safe. I'm like, what?
But Shapiro is also the one that says you need to question. You need to not believe everything you read, and yet here he is, blind obedience.
Don't believe everything you read, just so long as it's from the right sources. Like I can't do that. Like I voted for the guy. Hold him accountable when I think he's wrong. I think he's wrong here.
As every political office.
That's what you should. It's not even political office. It's the voter base. That's what they should do. Everybody during COVID and Biden and everything, everyone should have crushed them. It's like, what's this? This doesn't make sense. But you had mass psychosis, and we were like, no, that's right. Everything's right. Everything he does is right.
Everything he does is right.
To do a hard segue. Sort of. No, it's a hard segue.
Got a few.
So Elon's AI. Elon Musk has his own AI, like ChatGPT and like, okay. Grok, right? From the BBC. Elon Musk says Grok chatbot was manipulated into praising Hitler. So, Elon Musk has sought to explain how his artificial intelligence firm's chatbot Grok praised Hitler. Grok was too compliant to users' prompt. Musk wrote on X, too eager to please and be manipulated, essentially. That is being addressed. Screenshots published on social media show how chatbot saying the Nazi leader would be the best person to respond to alleged anti-white hate. Musk artificial intelligence startup XAI said on Wednesday it was working to remove the inappropriate posts. It's gone fucking crazy. ADL, an organization formed to combat anti-Semitism and other forms of discrimination, said the posts were irresponsible, dangerous, and anti-Semitic. This supercharging and extremist rhetoric will only amplify and encourage the anti-Semitism that is already surging on X with many other platforms, ADL wrote on X. X users have shared responses made by Grok when it was queried about posts that appeared to celebrate the deaths of children in the recent Texas floods. In response to asking which 20th century historical figure would be best suited to deal with such posts, Grok said, to deal with such vile anti-white hate, Adolf Hitler, no question. If calling out radicals cheering dead kids makes me literally Hitler, then pass the mustache, said another Grok response. Truth hurts more than floods. Separately, a Turkish court has blocked access to Grok after generated responses that the authorities said, including insults to President, Tayyip Erdogan. The office of Ankara's chief prosecutor has launched a formal investigation into the incident, in which it's Turkey's first such ban on access to an AI tool. This fucking thing is crazy.
You know, actually, if you stop to think about it,
I have a simple, I guess, answer to this, but go ahead.
If you stop and think about it, and I'm not talking about just one subject.
Right.
If you had to pick a person to respond to every sort of hate, every sort of crime, every sort of topic in this world, like let's do pedophiles, who would be your number one person to talk to? Human trafficking, if he was still alive, Epstein. You want to talk to somebody about drugs, running a cartel, Pablo Escobar. You want to talk to somebody learning about being who the best way to be a dictator, Saddam Hussein, Fidel Castro. You'd probably pick some of these people because they'd be the best people to talk to about how to respond to these things that's going on. So when ChatGPT says who would be the best person to talk to about Grok, whatever, what Grok says, when you ask Grok who's the best person to talk to deal with anti-white or white hate, is Hitler really the wrong person to talk to about how to deal with white hate?
Mother Teresa.
She wasn't white. She was like Muslim or something.
Even more. She definitely wasn't a polarizing figure.
I'm just saying, like Gandhi. Who would be the best person to talk to about passive aggressive or pacifism? Gandhi.
Yeah.
When you have a specific topic, cocaine, Charlie Sheen.
I think the answer is a little more simple. I think it's most platforms are very keen on censoring certain topics, certain issues, certain names even, right? On X, Elon Musk notoriously just lets things fly, right?
Yeah.
So, for a big platform, if there's one platform where you can pretty much say what you want to say, you're going to attract a lot of not only free speech enthusiasts, but just vile fucking people.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can post what they want. Now you take an AI that is designed around that platform, and that AI takes in everything that's posted there. And now X might not be as bad as Reddit, but it's up there. And just crazy shit that's said. Now that AI takes in everything that's within that universe, basically, and forms opinions on what to say. If you have even 2% of what's being said is anti-Semitic, Hitler, praising Hitler, it's going to draw from that. Because most of the time you go on, I don't know if you're on X very often. I go on fairly often. Most of the time you see, it's people just going like, fuck you, this is why you're wrong. Hitler. It's like, Hitler's not all the time, but if you're pulling your info, like Google, like ChatGPT pulls things from Google, and most of those are just tabs. It's catered, sure, but if you're looking for things like, it's gonna pull from news articles. Like X, just fucking, it's opinions, it's news articles, videos, a lot of opinions, echo chambers. That's what it is. Especially now when Elon took it over, a lot of left wing left. They went to Blue Sky, which is faltering bad. But they went other places. Some of them came back, but a lot of them didn't. So a lot of the left-wing influence isn't there. A lot of the right-wing extreme influence is there. So naturally, Grok is going to have that, like...
That's not saying the
mindset.
majority of the right wing or the right party is Nazi, but...
No, it's not saying it at all. What it is saying is, like, everyone that wants free speech or wants to abuse it even, that's where they're going to be.
Exactly.
So Grok is going to be like, this must be what they want. I say that like, you know, sentience, but that's what it's going to pull from. You ask it a question, it's like, what do you think? It's like, well, Hitler. Because that's what's there. You know? Anti-Semitic. And I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of different things come up within the last year or two where suddenly it's like, maybe Hitler wasn't wrong. Maybe it wasn't all that bad. Maybe he had some right ideas. And like,
right ideas, extremely piss poor and just diabolical fucking ways to get what he wanted done. He had a totally twisted agenda.
Yeah, so
one of his ideas was a prosperous economy. I can get behind that. We as Americans want a prosperous economy.
Yeah, in the beginning he was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
And like he was super charismatic. He was very nationalistic. Like he's like all about like, let's rebuild this country, make it powerful again.
Then he went fucked.
And then he just went like, hey, they love this. Let's go fucking crazy.
Let's see how much they love it.
And then everyone was like, I guess he's still,
wrong hole.
He's still I think I like this.
Done. I don't think I like it as much as I would. I thought I would. Shut up, you whore.
The chatbot.
Das whore.
The chatbot drew criticism earlier this year after it repeatedly referenced white genocide in South Africa in response to related questions. An issue that the company said was caused by the unauthorized modification. What?
It was saying Hitler was the best person to talk to about one thing and then supporting white genocide?
it repeatedly referenced white genocide
Oh.
in South Africa in response to unrelated questions. So, hey, where do you think I could get a good? I'm looking for a new Chevy truck. It's like, you know, the fucking white genocide, South Africa.
You know where not to get a white Chevy truck? South Africa, where there's nothing but white genocide.
Yeah, they're just gonna kill you and take it. A Trump rally must thank the crowd for making it happen before placing his right hand over his heart and then thrusting into the same heart. Yeah, that's the whole do the Elon. Some
The
ex
Power Rangers. Go Power Rangers.
Yeah. So his AI went fucking crazy. His AI went
Naturally,
crazy.
it's
And then
racist.
added on to all this, like this is like 2 weeks ago or something. Now like, fucking Diddy's probably gonna walk.
Yeah.
Like added on, like, what is it? Just fucking letting everyone just goes, do whatever you want. I saw a meme yesterday. It fucking cracked me up. I'm like, it was, you know, the one of Bane. In the background, he's in the foreground, facing back. In the background, you have like the Oompa Loompa or some shit like that. Like, there was one. It was Bane, and it said the FBI looking into my computer for whatever like activity I'm doing. In the background with the Oompa Loompa, it goes me setting my VPN to Epstein Island because after that they won't care what I do.
Yes.
I'm like, well, you know, it's fucking true. The fuck. So, thoughts? What I mean, what? Like, what?
Honestly?
It's either going to be the biggest fucking story that drops,
Or it's the greatest illusion ever pulled.
or it's going to be nothing. It'd be like, oh, never mind.
Sleight of hand.
So I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I agree with you 100%. That was a completely bullshit, poorly handled way to address it. I agree with Trump in that moment. Not the right time to bring it up. We are dealing with a national tragedy right now in Texas. But in the same breath
Oh, Cowboys not football. Well, anyway.
No, the flooding.
Oh.
Yeah. Bad time to bring it up when a lot of people have died. Agreed. But to almost... What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
To speak with such disdain towards a person.
You talking about the reporter?
Yeah. Like, to make it sound like, wow, you are such the lowest piece of trash for even... No. A simple, hey, not right now. We got important things going on.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
It's not as important as what's going on right now. Talk about this later.
That's debatable, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, sorry. If it comes down to it in the moment, save a life, find out the Epstein list. I'm going to save the life.
Wait, do you know who's on the Epstein list? You don't? All right, I got to move on. It's all right. He doesn't know anything. It's not an asset.
Water tastes good. Glub.
Glub.
No, but seriously. Agreed. It is a very hot topic issue. It does need to be addressed. Like I said before, I got to agree with Trump. Not the best time to bring it up. But more importantly, handled it completely piss poor wrong. Made it sound like it was so untactful to even consider asking any other question.
Yeah, the whole administration, like, really.
And then that too. Yes.
The
fact that everyone's like, oh. No. Head in the sand.
Huh?
I see you running. No, you don't. What are you doing?
I don't know.
How did he see me?
How did he see me? You're fucking weird. Love that movie.
It's a great fucking movie. It's
It
my
is a
favorite
great
of all time. What can I say? I'm a 36-year-old prodigy, except I'm 40.
Soon to be 41.
Yeah, we are.
Jeez
You
Louise.
sooner than me, homie.
Yeah. Going to see Tyson. I called. It's 2 separate prices. Photo and autograph. I'm like, if I really, so then I'm like, all right, wait a minute. I go, okay, that's all I want to know. And I got off the phone, and I sat out there by the fire, and I'm like, how much is an autograph for something Tyson? So I went on eBay. I'm like, you can get a pair of gloves for like $80, autograph PSA by Tyson. I'm like, if I really want his autograph, I'll just do that. So I'll get a photo op. I'd rather have that. I will call back and be like, can I get a photo op with a belt? You don't have to sign it. So I'll work my way around this one. I'll get the gloves, cut out the signature, and then glue it. I'll say, "Ah, you fucker! I got red gloves." There's a way around everything, you fuckers. Just gotta find it. Just like I'm gonna find that list.
Fucker, he stole my joke. Oh, just like
just like the bidet. That was Kamala. That was a recap of the whole fucking show. Bye.
She's come a lot. She's come a lot.
Oh, it's fucking gross.